that long, just a few short hours. So make each minute count, make every second matter. Just give me one more day to get it right. I need just one more day.
Transplant Talk with Shonda, Thursday, 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube.
All right, happy Saturday, y'all. We had to try this again, and I don't know what the enemy is up to, but you are already defeated, baby, because there's more than one way to skin this cat. So we're coming, and we are going to just pre-record this so you all can hear the true and accurate statement of the guest today. So again, we have the Murphys. We have Miss Regina and Mr. Kelly here today to tell us about their kidney swap story. So it's an exchange, it's a kidney exchange. And so I thought it was very interesting. I never had guests that actually participated in the kidney exchange. So if you are thinking that, maybe your loved one cannot receive the gift of life, there is, again, always more than one way to skin this cat. So I'm going to make this sweet and short. I'm going to bring them on. And of course, I have to do it right. So we're going to have their green carpet. Hello, somebody. We'll be right back. All right, Kellys, we're going to try this one more time. And how y'all doing today?
Good. Doing great.
Listen, I want to thank y'all for y'all patience because we always know the enemy's always up to something. But again, he is defeated. So I want you to tell us a little bit about the Murphys, just in case we know your family is tuning in and everything. So who are the Murphys?
Oh, we're from Glenville, Georgia. Of course, my name is Kelly, and this is Regina.
Mm-hmm.
We, like I said, we're from Glenville, Georgia. We met over 20 years ago, been married for 18. We have two beautiful daughters, Sydney and Taylor Murphy, and we've been in Jacksonville now for about 15 years, and just excited to be here and be talking to you about this transplant journey that we were on.
Absolutely. Now, yeah, y'all notice now we represent our AKA and Alpha brother we have on the show today. And interestingly enough, that's how we met. We were both at an event for the Divine Nine, and they saw me and said, "Hey, we met." And I was like, "Look, we got to get y'all on the show." And without hesitation, they said yes. And I think that was in June, and now we're in October. But better late than never, right? So again, we're out here. Yes, we're both in Jacksonville. I think it would have been real nice if we could have met up. But listen, I'm just happy we survived the storm of Hurricane Ian.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. I believe that we really dodged a bullet. We were blessed. I'm not even saying we dodged the bullet. We were extremely blessed to not get the brunt of that storm. To the people that's in Southwest Florida, my heart and my prayers are with you as you begin to rebuild from this catastrophic hurricane. Who would think that it was like Noah's Ark to me when I seen what happened, and that water came in like a flood, and my heart just breaks for those people. So we will definitely keep the people in Southwest Florida, people down south. Y'all are in our prayers. God bless you during this time. So again, I promise I would not hold them long. So we want to know, when did you start your kidney journey, Mr. Murphy?
Our kidney journey started in 2019. We were on our anniversary trip, in Cancun, Mexico. And I think it was like a 6-day trip we had. And first 3 days were great. We were having a great time, a lot of fun. And the fourth day, I became real ill. Didn't know what was going on. First thought was, hey, did we drink the water here. We eat something. We
Yeah,
had no
absolutely drink
business.
the water.
Yeah,
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 water, we
yeah,
drink the water. Yeah.
yeah.
So you know, and it wouldn't stop. You know, at what point I was like, okay, I'm feeling bad. Maybe I'll get up tomorrow. I'll be better. And it just kept going.
Mhm.
And so I just kind of knew something was off. And that
Mhm.
time I was praying, I was like, hey, please, Lord, let me get back to the U.S. Back home.
Absolutely.
You know, and I was going to get checked out, and so once I did get back, we went to the urgent care, and they originally told me it was a stomach bug, so
Mhm.
that kind of put me at ease. I was like, okay, well, maybe we get over that. But that night, it continued. I was in some pain, and I asked Regina, say, hey, let's go to the emergency room. You know,
Mhm.
so she took me to the emergency room, and at that point was when I found out that I was going into kidney failure,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so that started the journey from there.
Okay, now, wife, where was your mind at during this time? Seeing your husband in pain, it's not going away. We know we are the fixers. We just want them to feel better. So, what was going through your mind while he's going through all of this?
Initially, while on vacation, because we do have
Wow.
a running joke that he always gets sick when we're on vacation, because he does. And I'm like, oh, you're exaggerating. Not that bad. No, but it was. It really was. So
Oh,
of course,
wow.
after he went to the emergency room and they said that it was, kidney failure, like my mind did go to the worst case scenario. Um, like, oh my God, is he going to be all right? Because I didn't know of anyone that had kidney disease or, had to be on dialysis or anything like that. But then you just go into survival mode, like, okay,
Okay.
what do we do? What we need to do? We just got to get them better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, you guys are raising two beautiful daughters at this time while
Yeah.
all of this is going on. So, how did this affect them?
So yeah, it was we got to try to protect them as much as possible.
Mhm.
They definitely knew what was going on.
Okay.
The discomfort that I was feeling. There were moments of breakdowns, crying, hugging, and we went through those stages. But I wanted to keep them focused.
Mhm.
They just started school, and didn't want them to have that constantly on their mind.
Right.
Uh, Wanted them to focus on school, and just try to keep encouraging them and telling them that everything's gonna be all right. That it's gonna be all right. We're gonna get better.
Right, because they not used to seeing daddy. Daddy Superman to, all little girls, daddy Superman. So
Yeah.
here comes the kryptonite, which is the kidney disease, crippling daddy. So
Yeah.
I'm glad because I know they can get word in it. It does affect school, some way or another. Howsoever, this is not your first introduction into kidney disease, though.
No, not at all. My grandmother, I think it was around 9 or 10 years old. She, rest in peace, Emily Murphy. She was experiencing kidney disease, and
Okay.
eventually transitioned out of that. And knew kind of how I felt at that time. Really didn't completely comprehend what was going on, but I just knew grandmother was sick, and and like I said, she eventually passed away.
Mhm.
So that was my first introduction. No one else since has
Mhm.
had a bout with kidney disease, and that was years and years ago. So when I came up with the diagnosis of kidney disease, definitely I was definitely kind of devastated, at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
At first, initially hearing that, knowing that, what my grandmother went through, and she eventually passed. So,
Mhm.
all of that was just kind of running in the back of my mind.
Of course. Of course. Okay, so now we are having to go through dialysis. And um, Regina, you're in mom mode, wife mode, you're working. How are you handling all of this pressure that is, that's just been dropped in your lap? We never asked for it, but it was just dropped in your lap. How did you handle that?
I think by having a good support group, having a good, I call them, my sisters,
Mhm.
my sorority sisters, my best friend, just having somebody that you can be vulnerable and talk to, cry,
Mhm.
cry. We had a really good village. Um,
Okay.
Thankfully, the process, the journey wasn't as long as some others, have to experience. So
Absolutely.
it's painful, and you had those moments. It was pretty quick, so we were
Mhm.
blessed that it was, short turnaround for him.
Okay. But you did have those moments of self-care, right?
A little bit,
A little bit.
but not that much. I could have did better.
Okay. But listen, we could do better now. We doing much better now. Because that, I think, for the most part, we as the wife, we just kind of put ourselves on the back burner, and it's all about them, you know. Um, but yeah, we definitely, I do a whole lot better with myself now. As I told you all before, I developed a twitch in my eye, which was my nerve when I was being that caregiver. So I'm definitely that person that takes care and do self-care, for me now. So you all were given a opportunity to well, someone presented you with the opportunity of the kidney exchange or the kidney swap. How was that presented to you?
Yeah, so we initially learned about, get how to get on the list, the transplant list, um, from a nurse at the facility I was going to get my dialysis. And
Mm-hmm.
through that process and going from, Tampa General to Mayo, we found out about the exchange program. And
Mm-hmm.
um, and we knew that Regina, her blood type O positive was, she was able to do,
Universal.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
potentially be a possible match for her. Um, so when we went through that process, went through a series of tests. I was thankful for those tests too. It revealed a lot.
All
you know,
right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Otherwise I was in good health. So, but
Okay.
we went through that process, and she was indeed a match for the most part, but they were concerned about rejection, about
Mm-hmm.
getting rejecting hers if I got hers after the fact. So we were presented with the opportunity for the exchange, and she didn't hesitate. She stepped right up and say, hey, I'm willing to do that, and let's go for it. So we went full force forward with that.
Absolutely. Like, look, again, she's a shero. She's a ride or ride wife. I love the ride or ride wives for their husbands, and actually they're a rare breed. Because I know some women that said I'm out and
Yeah,
I'm leaving, and so she said you kind of you with her now. You can't leave her because she saved your life, and then everybody will come after you if you try to leave her. So y'all have to be stuck together. But I we can't skip over the part of why you would have a rejection from her. So what was the reason why the rejection from her was a huge issue?
um, I think it was all into like the antibodies.
Mhm.
Although she was a match, they were her antibody count, I think it was kind of lower,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
and from a female to a male. exchange. So you know, there was some level of concern about, you know, rejection after the fact. You know, my body would take it, but you know, we had to think about long term, and so that was a level of concern. So, you know, the better option for us was the exchange. So I was just thankful that, you know, she was still willing to go through that process, even though
Mhm.
I wasn't directly going to get her kidney. Now that would have been a great, you know,
Right.
better
Great
story,
story.
but
Yeah.
you know, still thankful nonetheless.
Yeah. I
But
think
you were
too, though, they discovered like I had chicken pox when I was younger, like the
right.
what was the other thing?
Uh,
Chicken, those mono, like
Alano's,
yeah,
yeah. Like I had
yeah.
all those things growing up, and I guess he was in a bubble when he was yeah,
yeah,
and he didn't
Right.
get any of that.
yeah. The
Right.
doctor.
That's what I was gonna mention. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, I know I had chicken pox. I know I had measles. Like, and you were well, like they always say Michael Jackson lived like in a bubble, you know. So you were kind of doing like the Michael Jackson, just you were immune for all from all of the communicable diseases. Like, but we got like I got pink eye, like I got all that stuff, and you just over here in your own little world and nothing. Wow. So
yeah.
let's go to the day because I know it's something unique about your kidney, the kidney that you received as well, and we cannot leave that out. So on the day of your transplant, I know it was very early in the morning. So walk us through that.
Yeah, so we got there. I think Regina was scheduled to check in at like 5:30,
Mhm.
extremely early. My surgery wasn't until later that evening. Uh,
Mhm.
so got there, wanted to be with her as she checked in, and then kind of after that, as she got checked in, they took her back. Had little to no communication after that. I mean, I know she had her caregiver, which is our cousin there, um, which they relayed the information to her, and she relayed the information to my mom, who relayed the information to me. So
Okay.
communication,
Right.
but wasn't a free flowing information. But she went through her surgery, and I think she was still in the process as I was, or in recovery as I was going in for my surgery.
Mhm.
And then, I went in, laying on the table, and the surgeon was like, "Hey, you want to see your kidney?" Me kind of zoned out, focusing on, okay, I'm about to have surgery. I didn't realize he was even talking to me. There was a lot of people in the room. Thought maybe he was talking to somebody else, and
Mhm.
he was like, "Hey, Murphy, you want to see your kidney?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I kind of leaned up from the table, and there he had it in his hand. I was like, "Oh."
Mhm.
Uh, I didn't know if that was something common. I later found out, no, I ain't never,
No.
that's not common to
Right.
it. So, I was blessed to see my kidney, before the surgery, but shortly after that, I was out.
And all of this, your second anniversary is coming up this month. So happy early anniversary.
Thank you.
Um, but before you were to receive this kidney, you were offered another kind of kidney and you turned that down.
Yes. So about 3 weeks before our scheduled surgery,
Mhm.
I got a call about, they said they had a kidney available. Uh, and then that I had a short period of time that I needed to make a decision on, if I wanted that kidney or not.
Mhm.
The thing about that kidney, it was a hepatitis C kidney, for one thing. And I was kind of leery and skeptical about, possibly getting a hepatitis C because I don't have that, and the
Right.
possibility if I took that kidney that I would take on that hepatitis C as well. And so I was in a unique situation, whether
Mhm.
hey, take this, take the possibility of getting hepatitis C, and keep Regina having to have surgery, or
Mhm.
stay with our scheduled surgery date,
Mhm.
and we go through this journey together. And so after conversation, weighing out the pros and cons, we decided to move forward, with our scheduled day and reject, that opportunity to get that kidney.
Mhm.
Out of mind, it was like, hey, maybe somebody else, I already have my stuff lined up. Maybe somebody
Mhm.
else get this kidney and, have a better quality of life.
You see, yeah, and that medicine for that kidney cost like $36,000. Because my guest last week had just said that's $36,000. So yeah, um, that was a lot, and she went through an ordeal, with it because she said if there's anyone's body that's going to reject or have complications, it was hers. But as of right now, she's had no rejection. So um you got the opportunity to see your kidney. Now you have to tell the audience what was so special. And honestly, it was almost made just for you. God created that kidney just for you. So what was so special about this kidney that you waited on?
Yeah. Yeah, it was truly a blessing,
Mhm.
Um, as we alluded to earlier, I never had chicken pox, measles or mono or any of that. Uh,
Mhm.
and I found out that that was the same case for the person that kidney that I was getting. So it was almost as if I was getting my own kidney
Wow.
just for somebody else.
Wow.
So it was a perfect match. The doctors told me that, it was a rare thing that rarely happens, to
Mhm.
have two people that's so aligned, you know,
Mhm.
in those ways. So, I felt even better after
Right, right.
knowing that information that I didn't take the offer to get that kidney earlier.
Right, because that you blessed somebody else and said no, let somebody else have it, and then God sent this blessing your to y'all blood type was the same.
Yeah, everything was
Right.
the same.
That I, I definitely don't hear that story often. That everything just so perfectly aligned for such a time as that for you to be able to receive that life saving transplant. So, it's been 2 years, and thank God there's been no rejection, no complication because you're here on the show, and
Yeah.
you're no longer on dialysis. So, let me ask you now, after this life-saving transplant, uh, what was the first thing you wanted to do when you were allowed to go out and do something? And I know we still had COVID, but
Mm.
what was, maybe it was something that you wanted to eat, maybe it was someone that you wanted to do. What did you want to do?
I wanted some pizza.
Yeah.
I wanted some ice cream. Some of the things that I was restricted from as going
Mhm.
through the process, and
Mhm.
I wanted to travel.
Okay.
Somewhere. Yeah,
Get back to the trips.
get back to the trips, and so
Mm.
we were able to do all of the above. We took a mini trip down to Miami to kind of
Mhm.
test things out and see how things
Mhm.
were going. And that went well. And I just I was eating a lot of the stuff that I wasn't able to eat prior to that. So
Okay. Okay.
great.
Yeah, I remember seeing, was it a rapper? I can't remember this rapper's name, but somebody asked him that question. He said, "I had chocolate ice cream." I said, "But you're not supposed to." He said, "I didn't care. That's what I wanted. I wanted some chocolate ice cream. I didn't care. After I had my surgery, that is what I wanted. I wanted to have and wanted to eat." So we pray that everything goes just no problems. You all could travel as much as you want. I need one of those trips where I could go for 6 days, 6, 7 day trip. That's the kind of trips I need in my life because that's a good trip. That really is a good trip. So to everyone that is watching and that is on the fence about organ donation, what did this life-saving transplant do for your life?
It gave me a new leaf on life. You know, you can go through life and go through the motions and, take it for granted. But, after this, it gave me a new life. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do some of the things that I always wanted to do. And, one with joining this great fraternity. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, always do. And God gave me another opportunity. I did that. And, it's additional traveling and still working on things that, it's been a long time in the works and that I wanted to do for a long time and still kind of checking off those lists.
All right. Okay. And now, Soror, Miss Regina, for anybody that's on the fence about becoming an organ donor because you became one, what would you say to them? They're like, nope, never gonna do it. I don't want to hear it, blah, blah, blah. What would you say to them?
I would really just have like an open mind about it. Because I think a lot of people are not familiar with the process. Like, no, I'm not doing that, even though like we may check on our driver's license that I'm gonna be an organ donor, if I pass, but to be a living organ donor, like you can function with only one kidney. So if you get help, then chances are you'll be okay. Just about. So I would just really consider it, whether it's for a loved one or someone that you don't even know, just to give somebody else a better opportunity to have a better quality of life. Because there are some people that just randomly donate without even knowing a person. They just want to
like you,
right?
Like you. And y'all don't know the people. Like you don't know who received yours, and he doesn't know. Unless you all make that unless you all have the opportunity to reach out to them, and I think it's a year wait or what have you before they want you to reach out to them. But yeah, so if you all are looking, I never seen anybody look at her face, look at my Soror's face right there. She's a person that did it. She didn't know who it went to, and unselfishly, she gave up herself to help her husband, and that's a ride or ride wife. That's what we do. If I could have given the opportunity for my husband, I would have. But my husband needed a heart and a kidney, so I'm still here, and that's why I love doing my show, just to be able to educate people about the importance of becoming an organ donor, especially in a multicultural community. So we need to make sure that, that we educate. I'm so blessed that I've met you all and we were able to tell this story. And I wish nothing but God's blessings upon your life, and just a selfless act that you did, Regina, for your husband. So I believe God is going to bless you many, many times over for being that supportive wife. So that verse that said, "He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing," and he findeth a wife and a good thing. So thank you all again for being part of Transplant Talk with Nyshonda and sharing your story with us. And I will end the show now. Listen, we will be back on Thursday, October 6th, with my special guest, Mr. Emmett Henderson, all the way from California, and he has a special story to tell. So tune in this Thursday, October 6th, for another show. And don't forget to go out and register to become an organ donor. Also, don't forget that organ donation does not only save lives, but organ donation changes lives, because this family has their father, has their husband, and you ought to be thinking about that as well. So God bless you all and have a great day. And I got to play my video.
I need just one more day, just one more hour to speak the truth to power. Life's not that long, just a few short hours. So make each minute count, make every second matter. Just give me one more day to get it right. I need just one more day.
Transplant Talk with Nyshonda, Thursday, 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube.